Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to the Soul-Led Millionaire podcast. In this show, I will teach you how to manifest the life of your dreams and become a soul-led millionaire yourself. We will go deep on all things money, mindset, manifestation, self-love, spirituality, and more. I can't wait to bring you this content. So sit back, relax, listen in, and let's get into today's episode. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another episode of The Soul-Led Millionaire. This is our final episode for 2023, but it's also the final episode of The Soul-Led Millionaire. What? Oh my gosh. What are you saying, Elise? Okay, I don't want you to panic and think that this is the end of the podcast. It is not. Next year, the podcast is getting a rebrand and a new name. But I won't tell you any more other than that. You will find out in 3 weeks' time when we resume the show of everything that's going on. But needless to say, I'm so freaking excited to bring you this whole new direction for the podcast. Though it's not really a huge shift. It's just something more exciting and more soul-aligned for me. Anyway, today's episode is actually something that I had not planned to do. You see, I had a whole big episode, like a big end-of-year send-off, ready for you to take with you and to digest over the coming weeks. And when I went to sit down and record it, I was just like, no, I don't want to. It doesn't feel good. It's not the right time. This is something to talk about next year. I want to talk about something else right now. I want to leave my audience with a message that is simple, that is clear, that is easy, and that is something really, really helpful that they can take into the next couple of weeks and really learn to adopt, learn to embody, and learn to truly live into and lean into. So you might be wondering, what is that? What is the message that you want to leave me, Elise? Well, I have to backtrack it a little bit because at this time of year, what I've noticed is that a lot of people get stressed, and rightly so. It's a stressful time of year. It can bring up so many triggers. It can bring up a lot of financial stuff. It can bring up a lot of family stuff. It can bring up a lot of work stuff. You're just feeling exhausted. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling tired. And maybe you just want it all to be over so you can get back to having a peaceful life, right? But something I've noticed specifically with business owners, and I noticed it because it used to happen with me, was that at this time of year, when you would take a break, or ideally you would take a break, right, over the Christmas period, a lot of business owners would start to stress about how they're going to make money. How is money going to come in when your business is on a break, when you're not actively selling anything, when it kind of doesn't feel like the right time to sell anything, and you've got no strategy set up in order for you to make money. Now, if you do, that's absolutely fantastic, and kudos to you, because that is what I want to hear. You have some sort of sales system set up. But in terms of like predictable income, a lot of business owners don't have that. And so along with all the added stress that this time of year brings us, there's also that added amount of stress of like money. What the hell am I going to do for money? How am I going to make money? How am I going to manifest money? Like, what can I do when I can't do anything and when I shouldn't do anything because it's the end of the year and I should be on break, right? And so I've seen business owners do one of two things. One, they either take the break and then take the income loss and then resume earlier the next year than planned or than desired. Or two, they wind up working right through. They wind up actually running promotions or running sales or doing some kind of active offer so that they can continue making money during that time. And like I always say, none of this is bad or wrong, but I'm sure if you're in this position, you don't really want to be there, right? You want to be able to fully take your mind off your business for at least a couple of weeks, right? You want to go enjoy time with your family. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere like I am in New Zealand or Australia, you want to go out in summer. You want to go and spend time in the sun, hanging out with your friends, being at the beach, barbecuing up, drinking the nights away, hanging out with all your favorite people. You don't want to be sitting at your desk working and trying to make money, because how are you going to make money during this time of year, right? Even if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's a bit cooler and you wouldn't be outside. You want to be locked up in your house, or I don't actually know what people do in the winter months, especially if it snows. So whatever you do, I'm sure you don't want to be excluded from that, right? Because you're working in your business. You would like to have a full break from it. I certainly know I would, and I definitely did in the times when I didn't. So, what I want you to do at this time is, it might be hard, especially if you are feeling the pinch of this time right now financially, and you're like, but I need to make money. Of course, you can still work and you continue to promote offers, and there's all the practical things you can do. Like, I suggest running a holiday sale so that it runs across, the weeks that you're on break, but you don't have to keep an eye on it. I'm going to be doing that. But in terms of mindset, in terms of energy, in terms of how you feel, I would love for you to really take this time to soak in the mindset shift that you are financed by God, that you are financed by the universe, that you are financed by the divine, that God is your source, not the people who are spending the money, not the customers, not your boss, not your manager, not wherever you think you make money from. They are not your ultimate source, right? Your source is God. Your source is the universe. Your source is the divine. You are financed by God. And the reason I'm using this specific term is because I recently read Your Word is Your Wand by Florence Scovel Shinn. And the book is powerful. Like, the affirmations in this book are like out of this world. I mean, she wrote them in like the early 1900s, so of course they're going to be very different. But this particular one stood out to me because at the beginning she wrote, "Man comes into the world financed by God with all that he desires or requires already on his pathway. This supply is released through faith and through the spoken word." Right? Through faith and through the spoken word. Not through sitting at your desk from Christmas Day through to New Year's Day and running a promotion. Through faith and through the spoken word. Now, this is something I have actually truly come to understand in recent years. It's not something I always inherently knew. It was something that was presented to me. I can't remember where from, but once I heard that and started to conceptualize it, eventually understand it, then truly embody it, it really opened up my entire perception of how abundance works, of how everything works, of how everything comes to us. The truth is, God, the universe, the divine, is our ultimate source for everything. And if you want to go a step further and realize that we are all one, and we are made up of the same stuff that God, universe, the divine is, then it's all just us. But anyway, let's make it easy and compartmentalize it by we are us and the universe is out there, right? God's out there. So most of the time, we have learned to look at others, right? At our external circumstances as our source for money, as our source for stability, love, significance, all of it. We looked at our boss or looked at our customers or our clients, but really, they are the channels, okay? They're the channels of abundance. They're the channels of money, but not the origin. The origin source is God. The manifestation of our desires flow through the people and through the different circumstances, but they don't come from them. But when you put blinders on and start to look at yourself and the divine as the only source for everything that you desire, you really stop interfering with the flow. And you stop getting caught up in the how, and you stop worrying about how it's all going to come together, how it's going to work. You take your hands off it, and you hand the job over to God. You truly get out of your way. You discontinue getting caught up in logistics, and you no longer depend on those people or those external circumstances to complete you in all the various ways. And then you start to see that endless channels are always open and they are always available to you. And then what you'll find is you realize that your supply was always infinite and inexhaustible. I'll say that again. Always infinite and inexhaustible. So I want you to understand it in this way. If something doesn't feel like it's working for you, or you're panicking about money, even if it's not during this time of year, that God, the universe, the divine is your true source. And so I want you to go there. Go in and plug into that connection. Plug into that relationship. Stop messing with the details here, especially if you have set something up that's going to run while you're on break anyway, which I imagine you would have, but if not, that was a tip. So during this time, while you're on that break, you can have the practical working for you in the background, but I want you just to get off that. Stop worrying about it. It's already set in motion. The channel is already open. What I want you to do is to plug into God, plug into the universe, plug into the divine, and connect in with that infinite and inexhaustible supply of abundance of yours. First, learn to conceptualize it and understand it. And as you do, as you continue to ponder it, as you continue to be curious about it, as you continue to tell yourself that you are financed by God, by the universe, by the divine is your source, you begin to fully embody it, right? And what does that embodiment turn into? Complete faith. Complete faith and a complete removal of your messing with the middle, of your messing with the details, of feeling like you have to micromanage, of feeling like you always have to keep one eye on it. Because otherwise, if you don't, it's just going to fall apart. To recap, the message I want to leave you with is that your true source is the divine. It is the higher power. It is God. It is the universe. That is your true source. And when you start to tap into that and understand that and learn that and truly embody that, that is when the magic starts happening. That is when the money starts flowing. That is when unexpected things start happening, like surprise sales, like more business flowing in, like someone buying your products. Whatever it is, those details aren't actually anything you need to think about. It's just staying connected to the fact that God is your source and your supply is infinite and inexhaustible. Get out of the details, get out of the worry, get out of the panic, and go straight into your connection to source and how the supply is always flowing to you. Okay, my lovely, I hope that was understandable. I really had no idea where I was going to go with this today because it was just so not planned. But I felt that I needed to say that to you because I certainly remember many times in the past when I felt like, oh no, I'm going on break. What am I going to do? How am I going to make money at this time if I'm not actively selling something? Because we can really get into these like patterns and habits that it's just always about the next sale and the next sale and the next sale. We're not really thinking about anything else. We're not really thinking about, oh, I would like to set this up in a way where it feels abundant. I feel like I'm just kind of stuck in that hamster wheel of action equals results. And it takes something like this, like where you're going on break for a couple of weeks, to help you reset your mindset, reset yourself and be like, actually, I want to do this differently. I want to stop looking at it as like a matter to matter thing. I want to stop looking at it like action equals results. Because, of course, action can equal results, and that's what I've told myself for a long time, but also energy can equal results. Feeling can equal results. Magic can equal results. Deep spiritual connection can equal results. Faith can equal results. It's just how you've linked it up and how you've wired it up. So use this time to truly reset how you want to see money working for you, how you want to see sales working for you in your business, how you want to see income working for you, how you want to see all of it working for you right now. Connect in with that divine source that is always available and here for you. And remember that your supply is infinite and inexhaustible. Okay, lovely. That is all for me for 2023. Thank you for listening in. I just got the recap for where everyone was listening to my podcast this year. And I just want to say thank you to the people who are in Seattle, Brisbane, and Melbourne. You are the top 3 cities of people who listen to the podcast. So if you live there, thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. And yeah, we will be resuming 3 weeks time from now. with an entirely new show name. So, my loves, that's it for me. Thank you so much. I will see you again in 2023.